Welcome to Mojo number 2 in Contemporary Philippine Arts from the Regions. Our lesson for today will be about the contemporary art forms and practices in the Philippines, nationwide, and Luzon. Our learning competencies for today are discuss and promote art forms from various regions. This will be for the first week of the first semester. Expectations. By the end of this lesson, the learner is expected to Number 1. Identify the various contemporary art forms practiced nationwide. Number 2. Describe various contemporary art forms from the regions of Luzon. And number 3. Promote Philippine arts by presenting a form of integrated contemporary art based on the region of one's choice. Let's start the Mojo with a pretest to measure what you know before discussing the lesson. Instructions. On your handout, choose the letter of the best answer and write it on the blank provided before the number. Let's have a recap of the previous lesson. A recap of Module number 1. If you could remember, we discussed about contemporary art. We defined it as the art of today. It's not a period, nor does it have a specific style. We also discussed the art forms in the Philippines, which are visual arts, the art meant to be perceived by the eyes, performing arts, any art produced by one's voice, body, or presence, literary arts, the art of utilizing words in written language, and media arts, which make use of media devices to show and produce art. In visual arts, we included drawing, painting, sculpting, printmaking, architecture, applied arts, handicrafts, and photography. In performing arts, we included music, dance, theater, and spoken word. Then in literary art, we included poetry, legend, novel, short story, and electronic literature. And in media arts, we included video art, video games, animation, and digital art. Let's start our lesson for today, the art forms and practices nationwide. The first is Bahay na Bato. It is a house that is based on the Bahay Kubo architecture but made with more stable and durable materials to withstand natural disasters, with influences from Spanish and Chinese architecture. The Bahay Kubo is the epitome or the ideal example of Filipino vernacular architecture. It's a house usually erected with stilts and made of plant materials such as bamboo and dried coconut leaves for roofs. Bangka, a collected term for the diverse maritime crafts across the country, is a boat used for different purposes such as transport, fishing, and trading. Harana is a traditional act of courtship in the form of a serenade wherein traditionally the suitor will visit the house of the girl he is trying to woo and sing her by the window until she comes out to either accept him or deny him. Kundiman is a love song written in Tagalog used in courtship wherein the melody is gentle and dramatic. Neo-vernacular architecture is the combination of vernacular or traditional architecture with modern architecture. This was popularized by national artist Francisco Manyosa, as seen in his works like the Coconut Palace and the San Miguel Corporation's headquarters. The next is Original Filipino Music or OPM. These are songs composed by Filipino artists in different genres and styles. Passion is a retelling of the Passion of Jesus Christ through readings, chants, performances, and narratives. This is a practice done during the Lenten season, particularly the Holy Week. Along with Cenaculo, or a dramatic play or reenactment of the Passion of Jesus Christ. as seen in the picture above. Tanaga is a poem based on the Japanese haiku. It has 4 lines, 7 syllables for each line, and the rhyme scheme of AABB or AAAA. And lastly, Zarzuela or Zarzuela. It is a lyric dramatic play introduced by the Spaniards that blends theatrical drama, singing, as well as dancing. It started as a form of propaganda against foreign rule. Let's move on to the next lesson, the art forms and practices in Luzon. Region 1, Ilocos Region. The first is Bolinao mats from Pangasinan. These are mats or banig made from dried buri or palm leaves, cut into strips and woven. Some strips are dyed to make distinct patterns and designs. Burnay from Ilocos Sur. It is a tradition of making jars from clay kneaded by carabaos before being worked on by the potter, originally used for aging vinegar, wine, and bagoong. Inabo weaving from Ilocos. It is the traditional plain or pattern weaving using cotton. A type of Inabo weave is binakol, which uses geometric optical patterns which represent the waves of the sea meant to ward off evil spirits, as seen above. Pandango o wasiwas originated in Pangasinan. Owasiwas means swinging. It is a Spanish fandango dance performed when fishermen celebrated the Day of Good Yield, with the dancers swinging and dancing while holding lighted lamps. Sayaw sa Bangko, which also originated in Pangasinan, is a folk dance in which the dancers perform on top of multiple benches. Lastly, the architecture in Vigan City in Ilocos Sur. Established in the 16th century, it is a town that has preserved Spanish Renaissance architecture. After being declared as one of the UNESCO Heritage Sites, the entire city of Vigan was declared as a UNESCO World Heritage City, and in 2015 as one of the new 7 Wonders City. The Cordillera Administrative Region. Batok from Kalinga. This is the practice of tattooing by using a thorn attached to a stick and a mixture of charcoal and water. In the tribes of Kalinga, men earn tattoos to show pride and achievements, while women get it to beautify themselves and show wealth. This practice garnered attention locally and internationally because of Wangod Ogay, the oldest and considered to be the last practitioner of Batok. Gangsa is a single-handed smooth surface gong with a narrow rim, used in Kalinga and Ifugao province. Ikat is the technique of the Ifugao, in which the cotton yarns are dyed before being weaved. Laba is a wide basket made from bamboo used to carry produce from the fields. And finally, the rice terraces of the Philippine Cordilleras are built on hills and slopes of fields of rice. These are spread across 4 municipalities in the Ifugao province. Region 2, Cagayan Valley. Bakwat from Nueva Vizcaya is a weaved cotton belt worn by mothers after giving birth. Butaka from Isabela is a wooden chair with long armrests that are actually for the legs, as it was originally used by women when giving birth. Sambali from Cagayan. It is a war dance meant to depict the fight between Christians and non-Christians who opposed Spanish influence performed during the Sambali festival. Bakul from Batanes is a headgear made from dried guayaba leaves worn by women to provide protection from the heat and rain, as shown in the image above. Region 3, Central Luzon Region. Pabalad from Bulacan. It is a kind of paper art in which intricate designs are made by cutting Japanese paper to wrap a delicacy called pastillas. A parol is an ornamental star-shaped lantern made for Christmas to symbolize the Star of Bethlehem. They are popularly made in Pampanga. Bulacan is a province known for the craft of creating fireworks and firecrackers called pyrotechnics. Singkaban is the art of producing decorative materials using bamboo, used for decoration and celebrated in the annual Singkaban Festival in Bulacan. The Subic Spanish Gate in Zambales was built in 1885. It originally served as the entrance to the Spanish Naval Station and then turned into a base by the U.S. Navy. Region 4A, the Calabarzon region. A balsa is a boat made of bamboo decorated during the Balsa Festival in Batangas as recognition for its significance in transport, fishing, as well as tourism. The barong Tagalog or barong is the official formal wear of men in the country. It is popularly made in Lumban, Laguna, which is known as the embroidery capital of the Philippines. Gigantes is a giant papier-mâché meant to portray farmers mocking and protesting mean landlords when nangono was still a hacienda. It is used during the Gigantes Festival in Rizal. Kiping is a delicacy made of glutinous rice and shaped into a leaf, which is also made to serve as a decorative piece used in the Pahiyas Festival in Lokban, Quezon. Maglalatik is an indigenous dance in which the dancers tap and utilize half coconut husks strapped onto their bodies. This dance originated in Binyan, Laguna. Paete, Laguna is known for various crafts, including taka, or papier-mâché dolls made using wood statues as molds. The Mimaropa region. Ambahan is a poem created by the Hanunuo Mangyans from Mindoro that is chanted and often carved on a bamboo. A moryon is a large mask which resembles Caucasian features used for a street play in the Moriones Festival in Marinduque. Pandango sa Ilaw is a dance influenced by the Spanish dance fandango wherein the dancer must balance oil lamps on their hands and head. It originated in Mindoro according to national artist Francisca Reyes Aquino. And lastly, Region 5, the Bicol region. Pantomime is a dance originally performed in weddings by the couple and their visitors. The actions mimic courtship and doves flying, which is why it is also called dove dance. And finally, we have balay. Like shown above, these are weave crafts made of buri, a kind of palm native in the Philippines. We're finally done with the lesson, so let's have an activity. Let's wrap up the lesson by making generalizations. Answer the following statements on your handout. Number 1. Before today's lesson, I know. And number 2. After today's lesson, I learned. Valuing. This is where we find out what the significance of the lesson is. The lesson is about knowing the art forms and practices nationwide and in the 7 regions of Luzon. Some of the ones discussed, however, are being forgotten and lost in the present. It is important for the current and next generation of learners to be able to know, understand, and preserve the country's arts and culture. And that concludes the Contemporary Philippine Arts from the Regions Module Number 2. Congratulations! I'll see you again on the next one.